We're breaking down the changes in Once Upon a Deadpool. The PG-13 rated cut of Deadpool 2 is out in theaters now, just in time for the holidays, and if you're a Deadpool fan who's always wondered what it would be like to watch the merc with a mouth after someone's cleaned that mouth out with soap, then this family-friendly recut of the R-rated original is a no-brainer. Also, if you're a Fred Savage superfan who's been waiting patiently to see him step back into the role of the grandson from The Princess Bride, then you're in luck times two! So are all of these changes enough for you to head back to your local Cineplex? Well, luckily, we're breaking down the changes Once Upon a Deadpool makes to Deadpool 2 to help you out. And it should go without saying, but we are going to say it anyway, that this episode of Nerdist News is going to spoil the hell out of Once Upon a Deadpool and Deadpool 2, so spoiler warning here.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Still here? Great! Let's get into it! Beyond cutting down the violence and profanity, right at the top, the most obvious difference is the added footage of Deadpool retelling Deadpool 2 as a bedtime story to Fred Savage, who's been tied to the bed in the recreated bedroom from The Princess Bride. Of the additional 20 minutes of footage added to Once Upon a Deadpool, most of it comes from jokes, comments, and asides in this framing device that's an homage to the classic 1987 fantasy film. Beyond that, the only real new scene added to the new cut is a deleted scene from the Blu-ray release that was also shown in the trailer. It's of an old couple on a bench, and it appears during Wade Wilson's search for new ways to kill himself.
Hey, I wanted to say I loved your working up.
And continuing along, after Vanessa gets shot and killed, we get an angry Fred Savage that says the film fridged Vanessa, a reference to the trope in comics of killing off a female character as plot motivation for the hero, most infamously seen in 1994's Green Lantern 54 and further explored by the website Women in Refrigerators. Later, when Cable is introduced to the story Once Upon a Deadpool, gives a nod to the Cable fanbase when Fred Savage goes full-on fanboy and lists off a ton of Cable factoids from the books. You know, like how he is the son of Cyclops and a clone of Jean Grey, and how he was sent to the future after being infected with a techno-organic virus as a hooey babe. We could go further, but, you know, comics. After the Cable love rant, Fred says to Deadpool, "I hope you gave this complex character his due." Deadpool scratches his head and then replies, "Well, we covered the time travel part." Another moment that caused a stir in the fan community was when Juggernaut rips Deadpool in half. Savage asks why two Deadpools didn't appear, since theoretically, one would heal from the top half and the other from the bottom. To which Deadpool responds, "You're kind of freaking me out here." Honestly, we're so glad that they actually talk about this because we've been wondering the same thing. What happened to those ripped off Deadpool legs? Could we see evil Deadpool at some point? Not sure Disney would be on board for that, but I would. That would be great. And finally, there's also new end credit scenes, one that's a heartfelt tribute to the late Stan Lee, as well as another of Savage and Deadpool poking fun at the post-credits trope. So there you have it. For those of you still wondering why Once Upon a Deadpool even exists, if it's just a glorified recut, or as IO9 called it, the best DVD special feature ever, but that's it, just keep in mind that if you want to do some good this holiday season, a portion of ticket sales will be donated to the organization Cancer. But what do you folks think? Are you still interested in seeing the PG-13 recut of Deadpool 2? Would you like to see Deadpool in a PG-13 world if it means that he might team up with the Avengers someday? And what's your favorite moment from The Princess Bride? Let's discuss. Be sure to like, subscribe, and mash that little bell to get notified anytime we go live with a show or drop a new video, like today's new episode of Fangirling. This week's show is packed. The panel breaks down what movies you should see this winter. I show off a super cool Harry Potter AR photo printer and more in the Nerdist lookbook. And Riley Silverman sits down with podcast host and author Gabby Dunn. Check it out right now over at facebook.com/watchfangirling.